More than 2,000 migrants are in Denver shelters tonight, but their time is running out.
Some are now finding themselves on the streets in these freezing temperatures. Denver 7's Christian Lopez spoke with migrant families today asking for help.
Tonight, one of Colorado's largest hospitals facing a crisis. Physicians at Denver Health telling us they treat everyone who comes to the ER regardless of immigration status or ability to pay. But they're struggling to handle a spike in migrant patients.
It's been really, really hard to take care of them, both in terms of their inability to pay, but also just the sheer volume of patients that we weren't expecting.
The latest on the migrant crisis in Denver, the city discharging hundreds of people from its shelters in just 3 weeks.
And many of them are just ending up right back on the streets. Tonight, we talked to the city about the situation and why the city says it seems to be catching a break.
There's an old saying at closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. As the city of Denver prepares to discharge migrant families from shelters next Monday, they're putting a new twist on that saying. You can't stay here, you can't be homeless, and no, we might not have a home for you.
Well, the number of Central and South American migrants in Denver reaching record levels tonight.
The city saying 9 buses from the southern border brought more than 340 migrants to Denver on Thursday. Another 7 buses arriving just today. This comes just days before the Christmas holiday as the city scrambles to figure out how to manage the influx.
Today, the city of Denver executed its largest encampment sweep, moving 100 people off the streets and into a hotel on Quebec Street. It's part of Mayor Mike Johnson's commitment to get 1,000 people off Denver streets and into some sort of housing by the end of the year.
There are hundreds of migrants who are living in a parking garage in Denver, waiting for help getting situated in the city. The people who are originally from Venezuela say that they have little food to eat. They've been sleeping on the ground in this parking garage for days.
And now in the city of Denver tells me at least 340 migrants have been dropped off here since last night. And many of them don't even know where they are. They're unfamiliar with this area. Now, with them being in the area of Zunai and Spear, many people tell us, including one woman who works there, that it's just making it difficult for her to work in the area right now.
Denver's warm welcome for migrants appears to be at its limit. Advocates for immigrants are now telling the city that they can literally help no more.
Denver has a population of 700,000 people. In just the last year, nearly 40,000 migrants have arrived. The mayor declaring a state of emergency. More than 8,000 migrants have come to Denver Health for care, and most of that is coming out of the hospital's pocket.
At the start of the year, 200-plus migrants were arriving in the Mile High City every single day. That number has dropped dramatically.
Right now, we're seeing between 20 and 30 people a day.
John Ewing with the city of Denver says it's opened up more resources for families who are timing out of shelters.
Sarah Parody is a city council member at large. She worries the cycle will continue, pushing migrants in and out of shelters, in and out of homelessness.
So my biggest fear is that this month, as we discharge hundreds of people from city hotel shelters, that people will not have available housing, will not have another shelter that has space for them.
Denver is sheltering more than 2,600 migrants. 400 stay at this Quality Inn in Aurora. Before their arrival, Joe Sauceda, his partner, and their dog had been living here for months.
We sleep in the front.
But for the last few days, they've been living in a car.
This has become ground zero for migrants in Denver. Many struggling for food and money, even asking our crews for help while we were there. All the migrants we spoke with didn't speak English, but through Translator, we found out they are originally from Venezuela, Colombia, and Guatemala.
The city of Denver today said that they're following new federal guidelines that says that they will only provide shelter to people who have come in contact with immigration officials. The city has 4 shelters that are open right now, and they say they're almost all at capacity. Today, the governor and the mayor of Denver signed a letter to the federal government saying, we need more help.